This is the IT in the D, only on rawradiox.com.
Clytus, I'm bored. What plaything can you offer me today?
Excuse me, sir, is this the Delta House?
Sure. Come on in.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
I was banging on the way.
Woo!
This is the ladies' man.
Woo! I can't say no, and I don't really want to, so I'm...
Well, especially with the back doors open.
Woo!
We just lost our clean tag on iTunes.
Woo!
Should I keep going or should I stop?
Woo!
How much scotch did you drink that night, by the way?
Half a bottle.
Okay, then shut the hell up.
Woo!
You're in your underwear, I'm in my underwear. Here, let's hang out.
Woo!
Woo! Really? Should we talk about this? Tag teamer.
Woo!
I may have to wipe the geek off.
Woo! Am I the meanest?
Sure enough.
Am I the prettiest?
Sure enough.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Sure enough.
Well, who am I?
Sure enough.
The Shogun of Harlem.
You're so white right now.
Woo!
Shut up. Stop talking.
Woo!
How are we not sponsored by PBR and Slim Jim yet? Damn it.
Take him to Detroit.
No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
I used to hang out at the Magumbo Bar. It was a rough place, the seediest dive on the wharf, populated with every reject and cutthroat from Bombay to Calcutta. It's worse than Detroit.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Then don't come! Shut up!
Woo!
Yeah, I can't take that position.
Woo!
I don't know who brought that bell in, but Bob's got a new toy.
Guess Captain Soundboard doesn't know how to run the soundboard.
Woo!
Are we at a break yet?
Woo!
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
The question isn't what are we going to do, the question is what aren't we going to do.
Ludicrous speed! Go!
All right, and we are live at Raw Radio X at Russell Studios. We don't have Bob, so I'm going to go ahead and do my best.
We are working without a net tonight.
Yeah, we are working. Well, we're working without a sales guy. I don't know if we want to refer to him as the net or not. He's occasionally the anchor. I don't know that I would call him the net.
I'm keeping your seat warm up for you, Bob.
Yeah, exactly. He was having a good old time squooshing his ass all around your chair, Bob. So have a good time with that. So tonight we've got just me, Dave the Geek. We've got Jeff the sales guy. We do have a room full of guests tonight, which is very, very cool.
Full house.
We've got Jim and Danny from Toscano Media. Am I pronouncing that right? Is it Toscano?
That is correct.
Media.
Thanks for having us.
And absolutely. Guys did a bang-up job, and we'll get into that in a little bit. We've got Sherry Volz from, it used to be Blue Argyle Media,
absolutely.
But she locked herself out of a server and said, to hell with this nonsense. I'm not doing this anymore. So she's just...
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Screw you guys, I'm just me and my camera. Welcome.
Thank you, and that's the last time I ever share a personal story like that with you.
No, it won't be. We'll get more clue in you. And then we've got Tom, who's here from Cengage, but here to talk about the Agile and Beyond conference coming up in February.
February 22nd.
Outstanding. So I guess, just to ramble about, like we usually do, open things up. So
we've got a laundry list of things to talk about.
We always
sharing
do.
Emails back and forth, and the list is 20 stories long.
Yeah,
now?
exactly. And inevitably we'll get to 2 of them.
Right, exactly.
So just to handle business, we do have, and I didn't add it in the intro.
Are we going to do it again?
Long.
Let's do it again.
So it is. The phone number is 313-462-0107 if you want to call in.
No one's going to call.
Yeah. You can hit us on Twitter at IT in the D.
No one's going to add us.
And you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/IT in the D.
No one's going to like us.
Because it's just like high school. So,
although we might have one caller tonight.
Exactly. We may. You never know. So just a couple of things that I wanted to yak about. We did have, we've always had the interesting conversation about, the erosion of privacy and things going away. And Bob keeps saying, oh, it's not that bad as long as it's not advertising. They're not that
marketing
bad
to you. It's fine. They're just spying on you.
Right. So now there's a company in the UK called Optimize that just launched, they just filed all the patents, and they're launching the software for facial recognition software to target market you while you're walking around gas stations and malls.
The whole Minority Report has become a reality.
Exactly. Here we are. And it's one of those things where we keep saying, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. But you couple that with your Terminator robots.
What year did Minority Report take place in? The movie came out in 2002, right?
Yeah, I'm like, well, yeah, wasn't it supposed to be like 2012 or something that's already long since gone
pretty
by?
damn close to reality now.
So yeah, I mean, you've got all the the Terminator robots in South Korea that allegedly only hunt jellyfish.
Well, then they got the ones that were dropping books. Like you order books, and the little drones were dropping school books on people.
Oh yeah, from in Australia. But then, so funny little side story.
True story.
It's a little side story. With the GPS signal in your phone. Yeah. So basically, you order books, and this company will load up a drone with your books, and using the GPS signal in your phone, literally drop the books off to you. So now Domino's...
If you're not paying attention, you'll get knocked in the head.
Oh, yeah. So now Domino's has filed the patents for delivering pizzas in that manner.
Seriously.
Absolutely. So there's still all the restrictions in the United States about how, you can't have a drone that flies, it can't be more than 400 feet in the air, it can't fly out of line of sight of the operator, all that fun stuff, but it's coming.
Instantly, I'm like thinking of Ghostbusters. I've been slimed, I've been pepperonied.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh,
it's a drive-by pepperoni.
Yeah, you think it's bad when a bird craps on your car when you're driving on the highway. You get a double cheese pepperoni pizza hitting
this is
you
an
on
example of technology. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something.
What do you tip a drone?
Yeah, exactly. Right. What happens when you don't tip it?
Yeah,
it's going to come back with a Sidewinder missile.
It'll go call its cousins in South Korea that are hunting jellyfish. But just on that same topic about patents, one of the other ones that caught my eye, and it's kind of near and dear to us, is so Google just filed a whole bunch of patent paperwork about a method of hiring people based on their relationships within social networks.
So they filed a patent for that?
So apparently they're coming out with basically amped up algorithms within Google Plus, because their whole thing is...
Yeah, because everyone uses Google Plus.
Yeah, exactly. Again, the gym membership of the internet. Everybody rushes to join, and then nobody actually goes. But no, so I mean, it's, but it kind of leads to an interesting conversation where, if you're only kind of attracting you wind up sitting in an echo chamber, because you only hear the same opinions, and if you're only recruiting from the same
us.
Right. Yeah. If you're only hearing the same opinions from the same social circles, it really isn't going to lead to any kind of diversity or just divergent opinions in the workplace at all.
I'm not following what they're patenting. I don't get what the attraction is there.
Well, so it's essentially, LinkedIn has their whole thing with search, and everybody uploads their resumes and that kind of stuff. And apparently,
that's mineable data.
Yeah, the interpretation of this is that Google will basically bring back to you, based on what kind of candidate you're looking for, here's what our algorithm pulls up from the various social circles within Google Plus. Here's who you want to hire.
So they're tracking all that data regardless of whether or not you're logged into Google, regardless of whether or not your Google can see your activity on Facebook, Twitter, at all, whatever.
Exactly. So you've got the drones and the GPS. Bob?
Oh, my gosh.
Long time listener, first time caller.
Yeah, you've been waiting all night to say that one, haven't you?
Are you on your car phone?
That one at the airport.
So you're sitting basically in Jeff's living room at the 615 Bar and Grill, I read?
Yeah, what's up with that?
I was downstairs in the hotel bar, and I was looking on Yelp to try to find a cool place to go to for tomorrow. And I found the 615 Bar and Grill. I'm like, Jeff would be happy there.
That's very cool.
Felt the same way and everything.
Wow. Is their website done on WordPress?
I think it's down right now.
It's not what they want it to be anyway.
Right.
Right.
So, and you are aware that you can't be here with us, Bob?
Minneapolis.
And for what purpose that is more important than us?
My paycheck.
Oh, yeah, I guess that merits,
We're not getting paid for this? I don't understand.
Yeah, exactly. How does that happen? We're not getting paid for this yet. Yeah. And although I will give Bob all the credit in the world, he actually sent an email to Pabst with a link to the shows
every week,
and said, just so we're clear,
where's our check?
Yeah, we promote your show every week.
Right.
We'd really like to have some. We'd really like to talk about sponsorships. That'd be awesome.
Yes.
But then again, just talking about stuff that happened over the weekend. So daylight savings time just went by, and kind of like I was saying in the bar, my biggest argument now against daylight savings time is children.
Yes,
because kids have no concept of daylight savings time. They don't. All they know is that now they're waking up at what they think is the same time, but it's really an hour earlier, and it's just evil. And there was this whole thing that was floating around the internet today about how there's this movement to basically drop the United States down to 2 time zones.
Nothing good could come of that.
So, East and West, sort of that'll just lead to a sort of a odd civil
Who
war
had
thing
that
breaking
idea?
out. No,
I have a better idea, Dave.
Of course you do, Bob.
I think it should be backwards, so it's always dark at 7 o'clock. Wouldn't that make more sense?
Wherever you're at?
Yeah, because it goes dark at 9 o'clock in summer, 5 o'clock in winter. So make it backwards, so it's always dark at 7.
Well, and one of the arguments that they were giving is that people don't really base their schedules anymore. We're not an agrarian society. We base our, more of our schedule.
Well, we aren't.
Well, no, but I mean, more of our scheduling is based around, honestly, TV than where the sun is during the course of the day. And so, you look at, the time shifts of television across the country, and, the examples they gave where, so China, naturally spans 5 or 6? I think it was 6 time zones. Yet they have one time zone throughout their entire country. You've got Alaska that naturally spans 4, and yet they're all in one time zone.
Right.
So why not?
Well, aren't there isn't Arizona in what is it, mountain time, but they don't even observe.
Oh yeah, so sometimes the year we're 2 hours ahead of them, sometimes we're 3.
Yeah, so how, you have one state that's like, no, we're not going to play.
Well, for the longest time, and I don't even know if this is still true or not, but I mean, for the longest time, there were different cities and counties in like Indiana.
Right, the line isn't a straight line. It goes around trees.
Yeah, you could be hopping through the interstate and lose an hour just out of nowhere when you're in the same state.
So we haven't been in time travel.
It's funny you say that. I just sent out 5 emails today going, did I put the schedule on the calendar in Eastern or Central time?
Good story, Bob. Thanks for calling. So you are you're out there for some, what is it, a training thing, a sales thing? What you got going on out there?
You getting Sandler again?
All of it. I got customer calls, I got meetings, I got training, I got lunches, I got beers, I got lots of things.
Life is getting in the way.
As long as you got beers in there.
Yeah, I got it. And a QBR.
I was going to say, I'm sure there's beer in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be that hard to find.
You cracking one right now?
I'm drinking a Fat Tire right now. They didn't have Pabst.
Oh, that's all right. That's a good choice.
Blasphemy.
Yeah.
Well, you're, an hour behind us, so you can go find a PBR in the next hour, and you'll be fine.
I am, absolutely. I did not want to hold you guys up. I just wanted to chime in and say, hey, I love the intro. Sorry I couldn't be there. I wish I was there, and I will see you guys soon.
Yeah, scenery is here. Wish you were beautiful.
That's right. Yep. We're keeping your seat warm for you. All right, man.
See you, man.
Take care.
See you guys later.
See you.
Bye.
This is great radio.
And we're just cranking it right out.
So what is it? Only 10 after 9,
right? About quarter after. But no. So another thing that caught my eye is there was this whole, and this is actually a good sign based on some of the stuff that we've talked about in the past. Like we always hammer on kids today do not know how to have a conversation. They don't know how to interact with anybody because it's all click, 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 click. It's all
social
Facebook.
media has become antisocial.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and so there was this whole thing about yet another story about the exodus of teenagers from Facebook, but a couple of the interviews were actually encouraging on some level because they were saying a lot of these kids that were interviewing were saying, look, when it comes to Facebook, like I've gotten to the point where I don't want to broadcast everything to a couple of hundred friends, like and so they're shifting to Snapchat, Kick, and that kind of stuff because I really want to just share things with one friend. And so like the only thing I'm like, okay, so why not just get together with that one friend? Like you're almost there.
Not cool.
But you're almost there. You've realized the paradigm that sharing with hundreds is not necessarily needed.
That's the beauty of kids. They still won't get it.
Well, and so Sherry, you've got and you're in the same boat. You've both got kids. I mean, how do do you have any concerns about them floating around on social media? Because my daughter's only 6, and I'm already worried about her.
Oh, I have incredible. I've talked with my son, and he's not a kid anymore. He's like he's almost 25. So
still,
but
yeah,
but he's grown up in an age where he's using Facebook all the time, and the things that he was doing while he was being an adolescent were less than things that I really wanted to be public, right?
Right. Yeah. Oh, I think we've all said that. Thank God we didn't grow up in the Facebook era, or else we'd all be in jail.
I'd be in jail.
Yeah, I'd be cooked. Yeah, no doubt about it. So, I mean, I had to have a conversation with him about that. I was like, think of it as your resume because it's going to end up out there where somebody's going to see it and you're going to want to get hired. And you know what? He completely modified his behavior. So
the internet is your permanent record.
It's proof, though, that your kids will listen to you when they get older.
Wow, so something to look forward to. Write that down. Yeah. Well, and Sherry, you've got teenagers, right?
I have one teenager, just a teenager, 13, and he's actually pretty cautious. He's really cautious about who he's friends with, and